Hi everybody, I'm Mahin and welcome to this Belly Dance Quickies practice session, the place where belly dancers like you come for ideas to keep your dance fresh. So today we are going to be talking about the very nitty-gritty specifics of how we lift our hips when we want our hips in an up position. Before we get started and get into all that, so make sure that if you like these videos and you want to keep seeing them, please go ahead and hit the subscribe and turn on the notifications so that you know when the next one's coming up. All right, let's go talk about lifting our hips. All right, so we're going to talk some anatomy today, and so I have my buddy here to help me. So we're going to talk about lifting your hips from two different places. So from here, what I want you to think about here, start out in a good posture position, feet underneath hip joints, knees soft, and pelvis in neutral, ribs up. So when we're thinking about hip lifts, and we're doing hip lifts all the time, sometimes we're doing them in the context of just standing, sometimes they're in the context of a 3/4, sometimes we're lifting our hips to go down in the case of a Maya, or we're using it to put the finishing touch on the top of a sway. So we use this mechanism all the time, and getting the look that you want out of the movement really requires using the right muscles. That's what we're going to talk about today. So, all right, so when we're here and we're lifting up, there's two ways we can lift a hip. So we can lift using these oblique muscles here and a little bit of our quadratus muscles on the back. So your oblique muscles go on a diagonal from here, right around here, and then your quadratus muscles go on a diagonal this way on the back. Okay, so these muscles are going to work on the same side as the hip that you are lifting. So if I'm working here, I'm going to pick up from here. Now you notice that if I pick up like this, I don't get a lot of tilt in my body. There's not a lot of change happening over here. So I'm not looking to go down and up at the same time right now. I'm just keeping it on one side. So up here. Now I want you to test that by taking your foot either completely off the floor or just having your toe down for balance with no weight on your foot and no push through your knee. So we're going to lift up and come down. So when you do this, you should feel a contraction right here, and you really shouldn't feel much going on this side at all, other than just stabilizing you. So that is our first way to lift our hip. Now let's look at the second way. Now the second way is with a larger muscle group. It's going to be with the glute on the standing side. So in this case, it's the butt cheek over on this side. So let's say my buddy here wants to lift the left hip, then we're going to be using this side. So here, I want you to try this. Go ahead and stand on your right foot, and I want you to keep your knee nice soft bend and squeeze your standing glute. And watch what happens to the other hip without doing anything else. And bring it, relax it. Squeeze it, relax it. Squeeze it, relax it. You can see that you get an up over here, but it's a different kind of an up because usually you'll get this kind of clunky shift with your ribs as you're doing that, which isn't always what we want. So from here, you want up here if you want this nice, small, clean, precise look. However, this isn't completely wrong. Sometimes we want something like that. I'm going to move away from my buddy here for a second. And sometimes if we want to lift our body this way and we're really looking to get a bigger lift, like we're taking our whole pelvis, this whole section of the pelvis, and we want the whole pelvis to tilt this way because our body's going to lift and are going to follow it, and we're going to come into something like this. We really do want this. So that's another way to lift the hip. But we got to know which one we want and when we want it. All right, so that's what I have for you today. A little bit of belly dance anatomy, one of my favorite things, and I hope that's helpful for your hip lifts. See you next time. Bye-bye.